All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome you guys back to my channel. In today's video, what we're taking a look at now is we're taking a look at conditions you're not allowed to ride your fat bike in. Before we get started, there is a really big list of conditions that we need to uncover before we start. Before I start teaching you guys about your fat bike. So a couple of reasons why you're not supposed to ride your fat bike is if you're riding your fat bike, one thing that you might see about your fat bike is if you have a flat tire on your fat bike, that means basically what you need to do is aerate the tire up on your fat bike. And then once you get that done, you can see that your tires need to be inflated on the fat bike. And you can see that most fat tire bicycles have an inflatable tire system in there. So one thing that I really like about the fat bike is you can see that tires do come inflated, as you can see. So this is a 26-inch fat tire mountain bike. So if you're in cold weather like this, like say it's 42 degrees outside, you're not allowed to ride your bicycle in that type of environment, in that type of weather. So if you go to ride your bike in that type of weather, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you have warm layers on, such as a sweatshirt or a beanie or a coat or a fire helmet or or hood. Basically, what that does is that will allow you to keep yourself warm during the winter months. So, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you're riding your fat bike, what you need to understand is you need to understand that riding your fat bike in cold weather can come with extreme consequences. One is hypothermia, and two is frostbite. We're going to talk about hypothermia and frostbite in just a second. Now, hypothermia is where you hyperventilate, okay? And so frostbite is where your knees and where your fingers and legs, where your fingers and toes start to freeze over. Okay, that's frostbite, and that's really not a good thing to see or do. Okay, so tomorrow is a good day to ride the fat bike. So tomorrow would be a good day to ride the fat bike. So not today because we, as you guys have heard, we were under 3 first alert weather days due to this cold. So as you guys can tell, it's been a very big roller coaster for us in these temperatures. So as you guys can hear, it's been a really big roller coaster for us in these temperatures and all this other stuff. As you can hear, the heater just kicked on in our house, and as you guys can tell here, whenever you're going to ride your fat bike again, you need to understand that riding your fat bike comes with extreme consequences. Like I said before, if you ride your fat bike in cold weather, such as 10 or 20 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Fahrenheit, you're at risk of getting frostbitten. Okay? So also, you're not allowed to ride your fat bike in thunderstorms or snow. You're not allowed to ride your fat bike in thunderstorms or rain. Okay? Rain can make it real slick, and thunderstorms have lightning in them. Lightning can strike and kill a person. Lightning is basically 50,000 degrees hot, as well as those if you are listening to people that are out there that have sense. Okay, so that'll be it for that segment. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about consequences for not obeying rules when you're on your fat bike. Okay, when you're on your fat bike, you always want to make sure that you're wearing a proper bike helmet. You also want to make sure that you're not in any wet situation, such as water across the road or water ponding. You want to make sure that you turn around and don't drown. Okay, I've heard Yolanda Amadeo say that from WLB, our hometown news source. And as you guys can hear, it's been a very, 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 very cold weekend here in Southwest Georgia. So tomorrow it's supposed to warm up some, and it's supposed to warm up a little bit this week, and we're supposed to have a little bit of a warm-up trend this week. So as you guys can hear, we're supposed to have warmer air this week, but we're not supposed to have warmer temperatures. We're not supposed to have warmer temperatures. We are supposed to have warmer temperatures, but as you guys can tell, that is subject to change. But as you guys can tell, it has been a very rough weekend this week due to the weather being so freezing. Okay, we had our well froze this morning. We had to get that back up and running, and we had to get our hot water heater back up and running because of the hot water heater not working. And our hot water heater is working now thanks to it not freezing. And I put a space heater in front of the wall that supports our hot water heater in there, and the space heater, I went to unplug it, and I felt that son of a gun was extremely hot. So next week, we may talk about space heaters in our next video. So thank you guys for watching the video. Have a great day.